What is up? My name is Shu, and today we're going to be doing a teardown of a Tokyo Marui G18C Glock. Now, all Glocks are pretty much universal, so anything you'll see in this video should be applicable to your gas blowback version too. Of course, AEP Glocks are going to be completely different, but if yours is gas, whether it's green gas or CO2, everything should pretty much be around about the same. So without further ado, let's look at what kit we need in order to do this. So of course we have got our Glock right here in the middle. We have it with the mag in too, for a very important reason, which I'll cover in just a moment. Tool wise, we have got a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of tweezers, but anything that is pokey will do, and of course some pliers. On the left side we also have a microfiber blue cloth and some gun oil. This is the best stuff that I've ever used. I've used a fair few different sprays like New Prols and like random other brands, WDs, that kind of thing. You need to be very specific about what kind of oils you use because they can actually eat away and degrade plastic. This one, however, is absolutely fantastic. Abbey Silicone Gun Oil 35, and this is the complete set of everything we're going to be needing today. So this teardown, this is for like a general maintenance kind of teardown. If you want to take your Glock apart, give it a bit of a clean, this is what I would recommend you do in order to have a fully functional working Glock that isn't going to let you down in the field. Right, so first things first, what we need to do is remove the magazine. Easily done, you've done it tons of times before. Push your button, take the mag out, and then we're going to put that to one side. Now, the reason why I left the mag in there, and I'm making this point, is if you leave the mag in, you're not going to be able to remove the slide. So there's these little notches here, one on that side, one on that side. You pull them down, pull the slide back. You now can't push it forward, and that's because the magazine is in there. So we take the mag out, we pop it to the side, pull those slides down, and then the top slide comes off just like that. This is where maintenance pretty much begins. We're going to take the lower assembly of the Glock, and again, we're going to pop that to just one side at the moment, and we're going to take the upper here. So on the slide, you've got this spring here, which is the recoil spring. Now, if I take this and spin it around to the side, you can see I can push it all the way up there and create the recoil action that that spring does. Now, we need to remove that. Very easily done. All you do, pop that in like this and take that out. Pop that to the side. We can now remove the outer barrel, inner barrel, and of course hop chamber. Now with the top slide on the riff, I don't tend to really do too much here. What I like to do though is I'll take my microfiber cloth and just give it a complete wipe down inside. I don't take this assembly out at all. I don't give it like a super in-depth clean, but what I do is get in there with the cloth, clean down, take off any old lubricant that I can see in there, give that a nice steady clean, pop that back down again. There we go, just like that. And then once I am done with that, I take my silicone gun oil, pull that forward, and this bit here, just give that a little bit of a spray. Run that forward and backwards a few times, just to run it around the place. Another little spray, just for luck. And now that bit is nice and clean, lubricated, ready to go back into the riff. Taking a look at the barrel sections now, all we need to do to get the outer barrel off is just slide off this plastic cover, just like that, move that to the side, and then we've got the barrel and the hop chamber too. Now, you may have been able to see already that I've got an upgraded barrel in here. I've also, if I flip it up, see I've also got a little H key in there too, which helps with accuracy. Two fantastic upgrades I recommend you do on your Glocks. Now, we are going to be cleaning the barrel out as well, and I'm also going to be cleaning off the PTFE tape, which I have creating an air seal between my hop rubber and my barrel too. And I'll show you just how to do that. So we take our screwdriver, there's two little screws, one here and one here, and we're just going to quickly get in there, apply a decent amount of pressure so we don't round off the edges of the screws. There we go, that's one there. Put that to that side. And the same again here. Apply a nice amount of pressure and then nice and softly bring it up, not to damage anything. Put that on that side. The reason why I'm being very specific about these ones is I want to make sure that I'm putting the same screw back into the same hole when we put everything back together. This side just lifts off. We can put that there. As you can already see, it is quite grimy and doesn't really look that nice. So this was definitely due a decent clean. Now with this side, we just push that down The whole hop assembly will probably fall apart a little bit, but that's okay. We'll pop that down there. And here we can really see now the gunk that I have acquired on my hop rubber. This hop rubber is a little bit different to your normal one because it has got this little retention spring on the edge. For me, I just need to pull it off like that. Yours probably won't have that. So all you need to do is pull your hop rubber off just like that. Now mine is a little bit more grimy because I have PTFE tape between the hop and the barrel, and I'm going to show you exactly why in just a moment. First of all though, we're going to come back to the barrel because this is where all the PTFE tape is, and we're just going to pull all of it off. Ugh. And then this just all goes straight into the bin. With that PTFE tape off, we're just going to give the barrel a wipe down. Lovely stuff. And the same thing with the hop rubber. One extra ingredient I'm going to actually need is a little bit of rubbing alcohol. So I'm going to take this little tub here. This is 70% rubbing alcohol in there. Swash it against the cloth, just like that. So I've got a nice circle of the alcohol. And I'm just going to quickly give that barrel a bit of a wipe down in there too. This will help to remove any grease, any old lubricant that's still on there, and help make sure the external of my inner barrel is nice and clean. Nice. With that one done, I'm now going to do the same thing with the hop rubber. Look at that. It's green again. Lovely. It's always good when you can see all the dirt sticking to the cloth. So I also want to clean the inside of the barrel and also the hop rubber. And I need to get something else. Sorry, I forgot to get everything at the start. The other thing I forgot that I needed is the cleaning rod. Now these come in the box when you get your pistol. Your one may look different. I think this is from a different riff actually. And what we're going to do with this is cut a little bit of cloth off. Then we're going to thread that through the eyelet here on the side, if I can. God, it's so tricky. Then take a little bit of our alcohol, dab that on there, spin it around to get the whole thing covered. Then on top of a cloth, just because sometimes you get a little bit of spillage, take this and just thread it through the barrel, just like that. Now slowly push it through, twisting it as you go. And what this will do is clean off any gunk that is inside that barrel. Push it all the way through, bring it all back in, again twisting it as you go, and this will make sure the inner barrel is nice and tidy. Because even if you have any like grime in there at all, any old lubrication, any dirt, anything like that is going to be interfering with the travel of the BB, and it's not going to be making you any more accurate. It's going to make you less accurate. So making sure you've got a clean inner barrel is very important. Have a little look down the barrel, make sure you can't see anything on the edges. That looks lovely, and that barrel is now clean. Popping that down, do the exact same thing with the hop rubber as well. Get the hop rubber, spin the cleaning rod with a bit of cloth on there, and that'll help get away any and all gunk that's inside. Again, quick visual inspection. Looks nice and tidy in there. That is one clean hop rubber. Now, before we can reassemble, we do want to give the hop chamber a bit of a rub down too, just to make sure that there's no gunk inside there. So again, in the same area where you had the alcohol on there before, just give it all a bit of a rub down. Both sides. It did look pretty clean to start with, so just a little bit of a rub over. Now we're going to rebuild our barrel hop chamber section. To do this, we take our hop rubber, we align up the groove on the barrel and the hop rubber itself, push that together, and then that's nice and tight on there. We'll take our clip, put that over the hop rubber, so that is now solidly in place, making sure that that's still lined up. Now, what I like to do is take some PTFE tape. It's very, very cheap stuff. Comes on a roll like this. Plumbers use this to ensure a watertight or gas-tight, airtight seal on threads when plumbing things. So what I like to do is take my PTFE tape, pop it on the edge of the where the hop rubber meets the barrel, and just give it a nice tight wrap around. Make sure the hop rubber doesn't twist when you do it, because it's easy for it to do so. And just give it a nice tight seal there, and then also bring it down onto the barrel, just making sure that that seal there is super tight. You don't need tons of stuff, don't need tons of the tape, and then just spin it around, make sure it's all connected all right, make sure your hop rubber is still all lined up. Now what this does is create a perfect air seal between the hop rubber and the inner barrel. So the only place where you can really lose out on any air is where the nozzle goes into the hop rubber there, and hopefully that won't happen. But this reduces the chances of you losing air and also creates a much better seal. Now we're going to reassemble the barrel and hop chamber. So to do that, we take the far side and line up the notch of the hop rubber into that side of the chamber. Then you put your hop arm on with no hop on it, which gives you more room to play around with. You would put your H key underneath in there, but for some reason I can't find mine, so I'll have to find that later. Put the other side of your hop chamber on there. Make sure it all looks like it fits together perfectly, which is what you want to see. There we go, just like that. Then we take our screws, pop them in. One there, and then tighten those up. Now when putting them in, it's very important not to over tighten them. This isn't an area where you want to round out screws or ruin threads at all. So don't do it too much, don't force it in too much, but make sure that they're tight enough. Right, with that done now, we take our inner barrel build and put that into the outer barrel, slot that in place, just like that. Take the slide, pop the barrel build into there, take the spring, pop that into place, which can sometimes be a little bit fiddly. And that is a completely rebuilt and cleaned slide for your Glock. Now with the upper slide done, it's time to focus on the lower half of the pistol. Really handy little modification that I've done to mine, which I'll run through you first of all, is with the Glocks, there is a safety catch on the bottom end right here. And if it pushes that way, the safety is on and the gun won't fire. I've somehow managed to put this on loads of times accidentally. Gun doesn't fire, and then, you know, it's actually quite awkward to get to. So what I did is take some cardboard, fold it up like in a concertina fold like this to make it to, you know, to fit in that size, then pushed it in there so that catch can't move. Once it's in there, take a dab of super glue, put it onto the cardboard to keep it all together, and then once that was all nice and dry, I took a permanent marker and then just colored it in black to make it so you couldn't really see it. Top little mod there, really easy to do, really quick to do, and has a big impact. Back to the maintenance though, all we're gonna really look at is this rear section here. Now it's kept in place by one screw, which is found here, and also this little pin on the grip. So using my pokey thing, I can push that through, take my pliers, and pull that right out like that. Keep that to the side so it's nice and safe. And then on the top here, take my screwdriver and take this screw off, and then again, pop that with the pin. Now there is one area you need to watch out for, which is this little hook here. Now this is on a spring, so if you don't hold it when you pull out this part, it may ping off and go somewhere. So all we're gonna do is kind of put our finger on the top of it and lift, just like that. And then in order to get off of this little catch, we just kind of twist it to the side like this, and then we can remove it from the body. Oh, there we go. The spring did ping out, but lucky for me, it hit my face and I could see where it went. We're not going to do anything here apart from take our cloth and give it a bit of a wipe down, because you get general grease in there, general dirt, and when you're spraying in here to lubricate it, you can get a little bit of crap build up essentially. Dirt likes to stick to sprays and lubricants and that kind of thing. So just take your rag, give it a bit of a wipe down, all in there, nice. Again, look at that, all of that junk. This was a clear blue cloth beforehand, so this was well in need of a wipe through. Visually inspect it until you can see that everything looks okay in there. There's a little bit more on this side here. Lovely. Okay, this bit is now done with, so again, we can put that to the side. So I am gonna remove this little hook, which I said could come springing out, and I'm going to give that a bit of a wipe down. It's covered in lubricant already, but it's a bit old, and it's always nice to give it a fresh coat of lube to make sure it will run well in future. The spring, you don't need to worry about wiping it down, and then the full build here, again, giving it a full wipe down. Now this part may be a little bit different for you because this is the G18C. It fires in semi-auto and full auto, so if this part looks a little bit different, don't worry too much. You can still run through the same set of cleaning procedure, removing it from the riff, giving it a full-on wipe down, visually inspecting it, seeing if you can see any dirt in any places, giving that a wipe, and then when you're happy with it, it's just a case of rebuilding it, putting it all back together, and you should be looking good. Right, that looks nice and clean. So cloth is away with now. We are done with that. All we're going to do, take the lower half of the riff, put this back in the same way that we took it out, so kind of like lower it in, twist it, just like that. But before we push it in all the way, it's nice to put it in halfway first so you can see where everything lines up. But before we put it in all the way, we need to put that spring back in. So we're going to take that spring, slide it down there, kind of into place just like that. Then we're going to take the other part that we removed, push that in there so that fits in perfectly. And then reline up where everything goes and push that down into place. There we are. So once that's in, it will just sit there quite nicely, but I always recommend keeping a finger on it though, just in case, because if it does spring up and you lose that spring off, you lose the little hooky piece, you're not gonna have a good time. Hold that down with a finger, pop the screw back in, take our driver, screw that right into place there. Not too tight, don't over tighten it, but just enough so it bites really strongly. Take that pin, kind of get it set in the hole, and then use the pliers to push in with enough force so that goes right in there. Now, with that back built together, I am gonna give it a quick spray of lubricant because Glocks do love lube. Gonna take my silica gun or 35, give it a bit of a shake, and then right in here, I just wanna give it a few blasts, just like that. And that should keep it working optimally for, well, the near future anyway. Now it's time to rebuild it. So we're gonna take the top slide, line up the ridges here with the slide itself, push it all the way back like this, let it jump forward, and we're looking good. Gonna put that onto semi-auto, give it a little fire. Sounds really nice. Put it onto full. Same thing works there perfectly. Now that's operating as we would want it to, but just to do a final test, I'm gonna put some gas into this magazine and I'm gonna dry fire it just a few times to make sure everything is working nicely. So we're gonna be using Neutral Green 2.0, pretty much the most standard gas you can get within Airsoft. Give it a little bit of a shake, put the mag upside down, line up the tube. There we go. And that's it. We don't need to put a lot of gas in here because we're literally just putting some in there so we can test it and make sure the gun is in fact still functional. No BBs in the mag, no BBs in the chamber. Always important to check that before you discharge your riffs. Also, when you are dry firing and you have no BBs in your magazine, remember to hold your slide catch down. If you don't hold your slide catch down, when you fire, it's just gonna hold it back there and you're gonna have to release it anyway. So just hold it down, but make sure your hand or any of your fingers aren't over where the slide will travel, otherwise that's gonna hurt a lot. So, semi-auto dry fire test. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Now we're gonna do one last test, and this may differ for you. I'm gonna put my Glock 18C into fully automatic. Your Glock may not have this feature, but if it does, always test out both fire methods. Okay, and fully auto test in 3, 2, 1. And that is working absolutely perfectly. With that being done, remove the magazine, expel any unused gas. Perfect, there we go. And that is how you complete maintenance or a barrel change or a hot rubber change, any of those things on your gas blowback Airsoft Glock. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to see a teardown of any riff in particular, please let me know too. I've got a selection which I will be running through, but if there's any specific that you would like to see first of all, do let me know and I'll bump it up the list. Thanks again guys, I've been Shoe, stay fresh.